Deli with the sauce.
What is going on, everybody? Is your boy Deli G back again, back in the studio, back in the lab, back in the home office once again for episode 17 of the Deli G Show. Well, guys, I told you in the last episode that this awesome hat that my dear sweet mommy got me as just like a thoughtful gift, nothing special. She just knew that I was telling her about how the Blue Jays were on this awesome run. And maybe I was thinking about getting something, because I said unless they make the playoffs and do something, I'm not going to buy any more Blue Jays merch. Well, as we sit here today in late October, mine and your Blue Jays are going to the World freaking Series. How sweet is that? So let's all take some time here before the games begin to celebrate and give a big round of applause for the boys. They did it. They put in all the hard work. Credit to the whole team. They played a whole team game. So what better occasion than to wear my fancy new hat that my mommy got me than to announce that the Blue Jays are going to the World Series. And so apparently they're big underdogs as well, allegedly, against the Dodgers. So we'll see how that goes. A lot of goons were calling for a sweep. I don't know about that. I mean, the Dodgers look like they can win it, but it's not going to be as easy of a path as people think it's going to be. So watch out, Dodgers, and we'll see what happens here. So that's awesome, because if you guys roll back the tape, on this show, like, I wasn't expecting much at all. I certainly wasn't expecting him to get this far, so I mean, wow, just what a crazy season. The AL East title, the takedown of the Yankees in historic fashion, with piling up a bunch of runs, coming from behind down 0-2 against Seattle, and then having to come from behind again and having to win both games at home in the series is just wild. Like, what a wild run that the Blue Jays have been on. It's been amazing. Been amazing to watch if you're a Blue Jays fan, definitely. Also, mine and your Philadelphia Flyers have started off the season. At this point, they've strung together a couple of back-to-back wins. Now, the one thing, and I've been consistent with this since training camp started. You can check all of my social media posts. I said the whole time that the other Vlad, we got Vlad in Toronto and we got a Vlad in Philly. Vladar, the goalie, needs minimum 60 to 65 starts this year if the Flyers actually want to do something. Like, period. I'm sorry, Urson, like, you're okay, but like, okay is not good enough anymore. The fans are expecting wins and we're expecting trips to the playoffs. So it's time for the rebuild to start doing something, and Vlad should be a big part of that. I know he's got high ceiling potential. He's already displayed it so far. He's probably like arguably the most athletic goalie the Flyers have had since Carter Hart. If he didn't have that friggin' rape cloud over his head, he probably would have been able to focus more and show what he could really do for us and living up to his potential. So we'll see what he does in Vegas now that rape cloud isn't hanging over his head. So we'll see. But with Vlad, the Flyers have gotten off to a very nice start. He needs to get his reps. Like, I would only use Urson on the weaker team of a back-to-back situation, honestly. Like, he's proven that he's okay in spot starts, which is great, but as an everyday starter, no, he ain't that dude. And it's time for the Flyers brass to realize this if they haven't done so already. If they haven't already read any of my posts when they look at social media, or if they haven't watched any of these episodes and stumbled upon this on YouTube, then please, if you watch this now, Vlad, 60 to 65 starts minimum if you guys want to actually do anything this season. That's my take on Philly. I mean, other than that, Tockett's got him grinding out wins, which is good, playing steady team defense, which is also good, because that's gonna be how they're gonna win. We got Zegras, but Zegras, he's not a breakout superstar. It doesn't look like. He's just a really skilled forward. I don't see him as any kind of a game breaker. He had that 1 minute pass when he dodged like 2 dudes a couple of games ago, which is friggin' awesome. The behind the net pass to Coetzee for the goal. That was friggin' disgusting play, evading 2 Florida Panthers players that ought to know better. But that was just awesome. But I don't know, not enough of that. And maybe he's still trying to get his like sea legs under him with Philly, but I don't know, man. I haven't seen any sort of game breaking plays other than that one behind the net play to Coetzee for the goal. So it's my take on Philly. We'll see what happens with them as the season progresses. Also, the Raptors opened up their season last night against the Atlanta Hawks, who everybody thought, the Hawks were at home, and everybody thought they were going to be a good team. This is actually awesome. Like, I think this is the first time since what did they say? What did they say on the broadcast? I think the first time in 9 years or something like that the Raptors have opened the season on the road, which is crazy to me that it's been that long since they had a road season opener. But it's good though. It gets some focus away from the home distractions and all that people talk about, and that clearly benefited them because they came out with a huge win. They dropped 138 or something like that. And then in the post game encore interview, they're talking to Brandon Ingram, and like, oh yeah, so 138 points on the road. What do you think that kind of effect? Like, what do you think that kind of statement that makes for this team going forward? Well, I guess I mean BI here. Yeah, I guess it does. So if you're gonna say something like that, BI, then you better keep dropping buckets, bud. Just stay healthy, brother, and keep dropping buckets. We'll see how that goes. Because he's kind of an approve it year. They shipped him off to Toronto. Not exactly the most desirable market for players, as history will tell us. And he's got to show that if he wants to get paid the bag again, he needs to try and stay healthy and show up for Toronto. It's kind of like a Kawhi situation. Everybody thought they kind of had him written off with the injury and all that. Same with BI. He's coming back from injury. People think he might be like falling off because he hasn't really done much since then. Missed a bunch of games. So the onus is gonna be on him to be like a team player and make shots that he needs to make. So they did look good though. I mean, Barnes is still a force down low in the middle. We still have our center too, that we came from, Pirtle. He can grab boards too, and BI dropping buckets, Quigley, handling the ball, being the floor general. I mean, it's, when you think about it, it's not a bad mix, and then RJ can hit some shots like that's starting five. If they put their stuff together and play up to their skill set and play for one another and don't hog the ball, BI, then they could be a force to be reckoned with. They want to play run and gun, fast break ball. So that's good, but you got to be able to distribute the rock, and there's going to be points and situations where you have to slow the game down. When you have a big lead, wind down the clock. So don't get you too used to playing, jailbreak basketball all the time. There has to be a time where, you need to be able to control the ball, possess the ball, make smart plays, wind down the clock to guarantee victory. So just be smart, hustle, play for one another, share the rock like you're supposed to in a game like that, and everything will be fine, as was demonstrated with their big opening win last night. So, and good defense too. They're pesky. They're pesky defenders, and I'm sure that's what the coach wants. They want their guys like hounding all the time, being in the right spot, anticipating those breaks on cuts and screens and all that, and pick and rolls. But just staying with your man and hounding the ball. So it was good to see. It was good to see like a high level of intensity on defense. That's what that is what ultimately is gonna propel them moving forward. Is how good defensively they can play, because BI is gonna put up shots, RJ is gonna put up shots. Barnes will put up shots too. So they got guys that can put up shots, but it's the commitment to defense that I'm interested in seeing in this team over the course of 82 game season. So yeah, I mean, right now your boys' clubs are winning. It's a good time of year, and that's why the professional wrestling is kind of taken a very back seat. It's been relegated way to the back because it's kind of stale, to be honest with you. And I always like to just catch up by listening to my buddies, as I like to call them. Either Stevie Richards, Dutch Mantell, or Jimmy Cornette. I listen to those guys. They keep me up to date with what's going on, so I don't have to watch any of the drudgery that happens on the professional wrestling. I mean, when mine and your Flyers are winning, when mine and your Blue Jays are going to the World Series, and when mine and your Raptors dropped almost 140 points on the road in Atlanta to start game 1, life's pretty good. And you're not really paying attention to professional wrestling, especially if it's getting stale with all the storylines and whatnot. So Hunter and his whole creative crew, they're gonna have to figure it out, bud, to start generating interest back in the product, because before you know it, you're heading into WrestleMania season. And if the interest isn't garnered, and you're doing it for 2 nights now, you're not going to sell out both nights, guaranteed. No matter how many times you do it in Vegas. So, good luck with them on that. Hopefully the storylines and the action gets a lot better. But they are missing some people that would be able to add some spice to it, like Liv Morgan. She's desperately needed back on television for the women's title. That girl is like that lady is just such a menace. On TV, it's awesome. It's really entertaining to watch. So she's doing the role right. Honestly, a lot of people might not like it, but she's doing her job. If that's the case, I think it's freaking amazing. I think she's doing an awesome job. So when she comes back, please, I hope it's quick, and I hope she can come back to continue to entertain all of us with her shenanigans. All right, guys. Well, with that said, that's it from me for this week on episode 17 of the Deli G Show. That's all I'm going to touch on. Life is good right now, guys. We'll see you back in a couple weeks. As always, like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you do all that wonderful stuff. And also, I've got the link for the. I'm actually. Oh, that was another thing. I'm so glad I brought that up for myself, guys. I'm gonna be starting to post some of the diecast cars again. So I'm always posting the link to that playlist, because I finally, guys, after searching, I used to be on a Hot Wheel. I'm gonna, that's something else I want to touch on actually while I'm on my soapbox here. I used to be a member of like the huge Hot Wheels collectors group with with the flaming semi truck or whatever as the background picture. But what I started to find is there's so many friggin' posts about these friggin' idiots complaining about I'm getting scalped and everybody's taking all the product and just crying and whining. It's either those posts that I see on the feed, or some friggin' idiot being like, I just got this, how much is it worth? Fucking, it's Google, bud. Or Hot Wheels wiki fandom. There's lots of resources I can tell you this. You don't have to be fucking looking like an idiot and posting and taking the time to take a picture of it. Google Lens. Take a picture. Google Lens it. It will do the research for you. It will give you results on what it is, and if they're selling it on eBay. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're smart enough to use technology to upload a photo and post it to a Facebook page, then you're smart enough to do the same thing, use Google Lens or use the Google search and type it. And type what's on the bottom of the casting. Like, for freak's sakes, man. It was such a joke. Either somebody whining about a scalper or some idiot posting trying to get information on something that they can post elsewhere, or some fucking scalper posting about the sale price of a particular car that is like ridiculously overpriced, selling it secondhand. I don't give a fuck whether it's still in the blast or not. You bought it, you paid for it, you grabbed it, you put your fingerprints on it. It's secondhand now. So post a fair price. Don't try to friggin' gouge people. So I just got so sick and tired of seeing all those posts constantly. And then when somebody like me is trying to post something cool about, like, hey, check out these models if you want to see 360-degree view, I've got it here, or posting something about, oh, look at the latest haul that I've added to my collection. Oh, look at this cool, unique item that I found, for everybody to see. That's what I was expecting to get out of that group. It's just like a community to post about, your personal collection, what obscure items you might have, things like that. Not about trying to make money off it or look like a fucking idiot. Not trying to do independent research before, like, that should be used as a last resort. Like, hey guys, or even say, hey, where can I get information about it? Not like, hey guys, I bought this at a garage sale. How much is it worth? Nothing. If you bought it at a garage sale, then they wouldn't be selling it. I mean, unless you get it from an estate sale, somebody has passed away, but that's a whole different story. So I just got so sick and tired of seeing all these whiny, bitchy, dead brain cell posts on this supposed fan page, this supposed group page. So I just left. It was just ridiculous. One final post saying, like, yeah, this is like whack as fuck, and I'm out. Like, this is so stupid. But guys, independent of that, outside of that, if you come to my page and you get a 360 view on the pedestal, if you want to see what the cars look like, because all these people leaving cars in blisters, man, like, get real, man. What, you gonna put them? Are they gonna be put in the casket with you too? If you got no kids, pass them down to. You're gonna put that in the will. Yeah, stick the whole collection in the casket with me and bury it 6 feet in the ground with still in the blister packs. Get the fuck out of here! Come on, get real. Get a life. Get a new hobby. Come on. Like, they're meant to be looked at proper. If you guys see my collection, you guys can see it back there, right there. That's good storage. Those are all Hot Wheels right there. That's good storage right there. That's normally supposed to be for I think paint bottles, but I actually stumbled onto it on, I can't remember where it was. I think, actually, you know what, it was Amazon, actually, because I was just looking for the plastic container storage that normally holds the, like, cylinder threading for sewing. So I started with the plastic ones, but even those I found, they got kind of bulky and they're harder to display than what's on the wall right there. So those are supposed to be, actually, you're supposed to be able to slide paint bottles in there, but it makes for perfect Hot Wheels storage for most vehicles. So, and that's how I like to display them. So if I want to see them, grab it and put it back in the sleeve. No big deal. Dust them off once in a while. It's great, and they make awesome displays too. All the colors of the rainbow. So, yeah, guys. But before I put them in those sleeves, I always make sure to get the 30-second clip in for your guys' enjoyment, so you can see how the vehicles are in a complete 360-degree view, not left in the blister where you can only see the right side of the car for Hot Wheels. Wow, great, awesome. Can I play with it? Can I roll it around? No, I'm leaving it in a blister like some kind of loser nerd. Doesn't make sense to me. But that's my opinion, guys, and is not reflective of the opinion of all Hot Wheels collectors. To each their own. That's just my opinion. And yeah, you know, I luckily, thankfully, I've got kids that I'll be able to, pass my collection down to, which is great. And then, they can decide what to do with it after that. With that being said, it's a great transition right there. Speaking of which, guys, Sophia, Raphael, mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you guys very much. Daddy loves you very much. If you're watching this, I love you. You guys are my everything. You're the reason I get up in the morning, is to make sure that you guys are safe and well cared for in this world, whether I'm around or not. But love you guys. I hope you're watching this. And if you are, Daddy loves you very much, always and forever. With that, guys, thank you so much. This has been episode 17 of Deli G Show. Tune in. We'll see you back in a couple weeks. Go, Jays, go. Peace.